Hello to all. So here you are on the lesson of 22nd of April. That's going to be Wednesday. So of course, we will be checking the homework today, but as I forgot to tell you at the end of the video to do the related homework, but I did drop a message on Edmodo to do the homework. I have no idea how many of you have done, but as you know, after 2 days of lessons, we are going to be checking the homework. Of course, I know the group of girls who do the homework every day. I know that. And I don't want to mention about those who never do the homework or never respond to any messages. Fine. So here again, use the slope formula to determine the slope of each line. So this is point A and point B. As soon as you see the line, you can say that the slope is going to be 0 because that's a horizontal line. But as they say use the slope, so of course we'll have to use the slope. So first let's write down the coordinates. Coordinates for A, that's this point, is going to be -1 and -4. So -1 and -4, always it's safe to write down the coordinates first. So the coordinate for B is going to be 2 and -4. So 2 and -4. Fine. So let's go ahead and find the slope. So as usual, the formula is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so let me just do it. So that's going to be y2 is going to be -4. Up to you. You want to take this or this as y2, y1 and x1 and y1. I'm taking this as x1, y1, y2 and x2 and y2. Okay, fine. So -4 minus, so that's y2 minus y1. Okay, over, that's going to be down. Now it doesn't let me edit or do anything, so I'm just using this sign for down because anyhow we are going to divide it. Okay, so x2 is 2 minus -1. Fine. So let me show you orally how to do it. As if I go down, you can see what's happening. The whole thing is a mess, so I don't want to do that. Okay, so here minus into minus, I'll just want to make this a bit bigger. Okay, so this is going to be minus into minus, that's going to give you plus. So -4 plus 4 is of course going to give you a 0. Then 2 plus 1 is going to give you 3, which means 0 divided by 3. That's finally the answer you're going to get. So if you get 0 divided by 3, the answer is of course going to be 0. So which means the slope is going to be a 0 slope. That's all. Fine. Now moving to question number 2. Let me delete all this, else it will not allow me to properly do the other question. Okay, so the slope for that was 0. You saw how we got. So using the same way, we will be finding the slope for this one. So let's write down the coordinates for C and D first. So the coordinates for C are going to, C is going to be, this is C. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 and 2 is the coordinate for C, and for D it is -1 and 2. Only you need to be very careful to read the coordinates properly. So -1 and 2. Okay, so C is 5 and 2 and D is -1 and 2. Right. So as the same, we will be using y2 minus y1. So y2 is 2 minus 2. Okay, it is -1. This is 5 and -2, right? That's what I'm wondering what happened. Okay, so it's going to be 2 minus 2. Which is in fact going to be 4 because minus into minus will give you plus. So 2 plus 2 is 4 divided by -1 minus 5. So -1 minus 5 is going to give you -6, which will result in the answer being 4 over -6. Okay, so 4 over -6 means you can of course simplify this by 2. So once you simplify, your answer is going to be 2 over -3 or -2 over 3. Okay, so the answer finally you will have to write it as the negative in between and then 2 over 3. I'm repeating again, it's 2 minus into minus is plus, so 2 plus 2 is 4, that's this 4, and -1 -5 will give you -6. So once you write that, what will happen is you can of course simplify where there is where you can simplify, you will of course simplify it. So once you simplify it, you will get 4 over negative 6, which means negative 4 over 6 is the negative. When you simplify, you will get 2 over negative 3. So when you write it properly in the slope form, your slope for this is going to be negative 2 over 3. Okay, so moving to question number 3. Now this is again similar. You have to write down the coordinates for E and then F. Okay, so first let's write down the coordinates for E. For E, it's going to be 2 and 0, 2, 0. And for F, it's going to be 5 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 and 6. Okay, so F is here. So this is 5 and then 4, 5, 6, 6, 5 and 6. So how are you going to find the slope? It's going to be 6 minus 0, right? Divided by, now I'm putting this sign because I cannot go down. 5, x2 is 5 and x1 is 2. So 6 minus 0 is going to give you 6. Divided by 5 minus 2 is going to give you 3. So 6 over 3, that's 6 divided by 3 is going to give you 2. So the slope for this is going to be 2. It's easy, very easy question. Okay, moving to question number 4. Now question number 4 is more easier than this also, because it's a vertical line, and you know in vertical line the slope is going to be undefined, right? So easily we can write the answer as undefined because it's a vertical line, but because they're saying use the slope formula, we have to show them how it is undefined. That's all. Okay, so let's write down the coordinates first. So for G, it's going to be, how much is G? That's going to be negative 4 and 3. Negative 4 and 3. And for H, it's going to be negative 4 and 4. So negative 4 and 4. So what is going to be the next step? What you're going to do? Y2 minus y1. So that's going to be 4 minus 3. Right? That's going to be 4 minus 3 over x2 is negative 4 minus 4. Okay, so which will result in 4 minus 3 is 1. Now this is going to give you minus into minus will give you plus. So minus 4 plus 4, that's going to give you a 0. Now as you know, you cannot divide any number by 0, right? So the slope for this is going to be undefined. I have no idea why this is happening, but the answer for this is this. So because you cannot divide any number by 0, you will not get the answer, of course, it's error. So 1 divided by 0 is nothing, I mean no answer. So the slope is going to be undefined. Now, moving to question number 5, graph each pair of lines, use slopes to determine whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Now for these kinds of questions, of course, you have to draw the graph. So let's draw the graph and then find out whether what it is. First, let me write down the coordinates. So for I, it is 1 and 0. And for J, it is 5 and 3. K, it is 6 and negative 1. And L is 0 and 2. So the lines are IJ, KIJ, and KL. Okay, so let me move back to the graph. Okay, so let's draw first 1 and 0. So 1, 0 is here. So this is going to be point I. Okay, then J is going to be 5 and 3. So 5 and 3 is here. So this is the coordinate for the first, these are the coordinates for the first line, I and J. So let's join them. Okay, so this is going to be the line for I and J. And the next one is K, that's 6 and minus 1. So 6 and minus 1 is going to be here. 6 and negative 1, and 0 and 2. So 0 and 2 is here. So again, join these 2 points to get the other line. Now, from the graph, you can see that they are neither parallel, they are of course not parallel, and they are not perpendicular either, because these don't make 90 degrees, and they don't. This is common sense, because perpendicular lines must make 90 degrees. So once you draw the graph, that means you can understand the graph. That's the question for this. What's the graph each pair? So for this, it's going to be neither. Okay, so this question you have to get the answer as neither. Now, even if you use slopes to determine by using these points also, of course you will not. What are the rules for parallel? Parallel, the slopes are the same, and for perpendicular, once you multiply, you will get the answer as -1. So that will not happen. Neither way it is going to happen. So the answer for this is going to be neither. Means not it's not parallel, not perpendicular. Okay, so moving on to question number 6. Question number 6, the lines are P and Q and R and S. So P is 5 and 1, and Q is -1 and 1. Sorry, -1 and -1. R is 2 and 1, and S is 3 and -2. So let's graph and check what kind of lines they are. Hopefully, I think they are perpendicular. I think they are. I don't know. Once I draw, I will come to know. They are perpendicular lines. Okay, so let me graph it first. So I am first graphing P and Q. So P is 5 and 1. Okay, this is 5, 1. And Q is -1 and 1. So -1 and -1. So it's here. So this is going to be the first line. So first let's join them. From here till here, extend the line a bit. Okay, and the next one is R and S. R is 2 and 1, so 2 and 1 is here, and S and 3. S is 3 and -2. 3 and -2 is here. So let's join them. As I said, they are perpendicular. Okay, so fine. So your graph needs to be like this. You can clearly see that they are making right angles here. So of course they are perpendicular lines. Now you know how to find using the slope formula. You will find the slope of P and Q first. Okay, so that's going to be -1. The problem here is I cannot type. That's the problem. So if you're finding the slope for P and Q, that's going to be -1 minus 1, right, over -1 minus 5. So that means you will be getting a slope of -2 over 6. And when you simplify, you will be getting +1 over 3, because negatives will get cancelled. So the slope of P and Q is going to be 1 over 3. Similarly, the slope for R and S is going to be -2 minus 1. Just please girls follow what I'm telling you so that you can check the answer. Okay, -2 and -1, and x2 is going to be 3 minus 2, so that's going to be -3 over 1. So of course the first ones, that is the slope of PQ was 1 over 3, and the slope of RS is -3 over 1, which means it's a reciprocal. That's what I told you about the reciprocals. It will be the opposite of the first one. So the first one was 1 over 3. So the opposite of 1 over 3 is -3 over 1. The sign changes as well as the numbers will switch the place. So once it's a reciprocal and you multiply them, of course your answer is going to be a -1. So that's why how you determine that they are perpendicular or not. So if the reciprocal of the first line is the slope of the first line is the reciprocal of the other one, then of course it's going to be a perpendicular line. Okay, now I just want you to concentrate on this question. Okay, at a ski resort, the different ski runs down the mountain are color coded according to difficulty. Green is easy, blue is medium, and black is hard. Assume that the ski runs below are rated only according to their slope. Steeper is harder. You know what the steeper means? Steeper means the more the line tilts downwards. For example, let me show you. See, like this. Okay, let me clear this. I'll show you what a steeper line looks like. Okay, what does a steeper line shows? See, this is flat. Where is the line? Okay, this is a flat line. Okay, now the more it goes like this is a normal kind of line. Fine, so the more it goes from the same point, if it, like, the more it moves down and down and down like this is called a steeper line. Okay, so this is a flat line, so from that point when it goes down and down like more, this means this line is steeper than this one. This is called steeper. So in the question they said that the more steeper, the more harder. So the only problem, the clue they have given us is emerald's slope is 4/7, diamonds is 5/4, and rubies is 5/8. Now in fact, if you consider them as fractions, this is one another way, like not the using the same method, but we have many ways to solve these questions. You can compare all the three fractions and then order them and say which is like the more harder one. But if you look at the slopes, see the rise over run. Here the rise is 4, which means from one point it will rise 4 and then it will be a 7. Okay, so if you graph it, the line will not be that much steeper compared to this, because see here the rise is 5, which means the going up is more, and then if you go to the right, that's going to be 4. Same here, the rise is 5, but the run which is going to the right is 8 only. Fine, so if you graph this, let me show you how the lines will look like. So the emerald is 4/7, diamond is going to be 5/4, ruby is going to be 5/8. So this is, I'm doing extra questions so that you all will understand and clearly, like, you will have a picture of how the lines will look like. So let's draw for the emerald. Now as we don't have a slope, so let's take the origin. We don't have the y-intercept, so let's go from the origin, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's say that one point is here for us. Why am I taking the eraser? Okay, from here, fine, let's keep this as the origin for all. So 4/7 is for emerald, so 4 here, you will go 7 here, so this is going to be the line. Okay, so let me join it and show you how this is going to be. So this is going to be the line for emerald. Okay, the next one, diamond. Was it diamond? I forgot the names. The second one, it's 5/4. So from this point, it's going to be 5, and then this is going to be 4. So from here, this is the point, and again 0, 0, as I did not change the origin. So that's going to be something like this. This is for the second one. And for the third one, ruby, it's going to be 5/8. So 5 is here, right? 0. 5 is here, and this is 8. So this is 7, and this, it should be 8 here. So let's join the lines. It's going to be something like this. Okay, so let me name these so that you will not get confused with this. This is going to be, okay, let me just open up the question and look at the names of the, yeah, this is going to be for emerald. Okay, this is going to be for emerald, and this is for the one which we drew now. I think that's ruby. And this is going to be for diamond. So this is how the lines will look like. Now you have to decide which line is steeper. As I showed you, which line is going more towards the side, like is it this going more down, or is this going more down? Which is more steeper? Steeper means deep. Okay, this is, now I got the word. Okay, the similar word I was thinking, what's the other word I can use? Okay, steeper means deep. So which of these three lines are deep? very deep. Of course, the very deepest one is diamond. Okay, so diamond is going to be the black one, because they said hard one is going to be black. So diamond is going to be black, which is the next little bit less steeper one. The next steeper one, if you observe, it's going to be ruby. See this one. This is the line it's showing. Emerald is somewhat up. It starts low and then it's kind of like going up. So the easiest is emerald, the medium one is ruby, and the steep one, very steep one, is diamond. So you just have to write them in order, that's all. Going back to this, so this is going to be the color. So emerald, the hardest was diamond, so this is going to be black. Okay, so you have to write here black. And for ruby it was medium, because the line was more steeper than the easy one. So this is going to be blue. They said write the colors, they didn't say. Blue is for medium and green is for the easiest, which the line was more flat kind of. Okay, I just wanted you to do these questions so that you will have an idea when the slope is given how the lines will look like. That's all. Okay, so this was all your lesson for today. So tomorrow you'll be having the next lesson, that's lesson 6. So until I meet you today, anyhow you don't have the homework, so until I meet you all tomorrow from tomorrow's video, take care of yourselves and keep yourself safe.